G'day all, welcome back again to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of the last 100 yards from GMT games, and we're playing mission 1 and we finished the last video at time 13. The Germans now have have control of 3 of the 5 buildings they require, and they also require the church. Our American platoon commander, Lieutenant Jackson, with 2nd Squad and the 30 cal are still concealed, and we have 1 German here, 1st Squad of 3rd Platoon, which has been disrupted. So we're ready to go on. And let's see, the Germans had the initiative last time, so they still have a +2 to their roll for initiative. And we have a 5 and effectively an 8. So the Germans maintain the initiative, and we can see now if they are going to coordinate their actions or not, if they're able. And we get a 1 for the coordination, so no. So again, it'll be 1 platoon at a time. Okay, I did a little bit of a yak last time about what the Germans may do if they were to retain the initiative, and I think we're going to go along with those sorts of lines. So I'm going to activate 2 platoon first, and the first thing that's going to happen is that 2nd Squad here is going to maneuver, and they're going to maneuver. I was looking at putting them in here, but I'm actually going to chuck them into here. So they're going to go 1, 2 to here. Now they're in behind these blokes. They've got that, and they currently have control of this building as well. So now they have 4 of the 5 wooden buildings that they need. So where to here? These little fellas, Lang with the MG42 and 1st Squad, are going to assault into here. Now let me grab I didn't grab one out, did I? I need an assault marker. Dun, dun, dun. Did I get one out or not? I thought I did get some out. Smoke and regroup? No. Where did they go? Assault. Oh, no, they are in here. I'm sure I put them in. Ah, there we go. Okay, I found it. I'm just an idiot. Don't worry me. Now, they're assaulting from 1 hex away. So now all I need to do is I need to have a look at whether they simply jump straight in there, or there's going to be a chance for reaction. So maneuver, fire actions, recovery, assault. Where are we going? Maneuver actions. Conducting assaults. 15. Righto. Assault procedures. So righto. Conducting. An assault occurs when eligible friendly units, blah, 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 enter enemy hex. Assaults can occur in either a platoon activation or reaction. Righto, yeah, that's fine. Procedures. Assaults from an adjacent hex, and that's what we have. The assaulting player declares the assaulting units and the hex being assaulted and immediately places the assaulting units in the same hex. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. They're not going to get a chance to shoot, root, or electrocute. So we have a German assault here. Like that. And then we have this little fella here. Still part of 2nd platoon. What is he going to do? I believe that he is going to do... Oh, I think I put an American one on there, sorry. He manoeuvred into there. And this guy is going to maneuver as well. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there and continue around that flank. And that is the end of that. Okay. So it's reaction time from the Americans. Now, my question is, can the assaulted bloke do anything? And I don't think he can. Page 15. Reactions. Units are limited in their reaction when they are in an assault hex. Units not participating in or under the assault may react normally. Units in the assault hex are limited. Non-vehicular units do not have line of sight outside of the assault hex if the assaulting force contains infantry. Non-vehicular units that have yet to conduct an action may still conduct small arms fire against adjacent hexes if the assaulting force does not contain infantry. Well, it does. So, units under assault are limited in their reactions as... Yeah, so they... Well, hang on. Units in the assault hex are limited in their reactions. Non-vehicular units do not have line of sight outside of the hex if the assaulting force contains infantry. Okay, non-vehicular units may attempt to withdraw. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Does he want to withdraw? And he may try and withdraw, and he may withdraw straight back into here, which probably give him a bit better chance. And that is 8-3C. And I suppose he's going to have to pass a cohesion test or something. However, yeah, let's have a look. 8-3C. Limited reactions. Any non-vehicular unit, excluding towed guns, blah, 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 can attempt to withdraw. 10-3. To withdraw, the controlling player specifies the withdrawing unit and makes a single die roll. A die roll is not required when withdrawing from an impact hex. No. This die roll is compared with their best cohesion. If the die roll is less than or equal, the units may withdraw. Otherwise, they remain in their current hex and are marked as having conducted. Okay, so let's then look at (10-3) then. Non-vehicle maneuver actions. Withdrawal. 10-3 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 then. Non-vehicle maneuver ac Allows non-vehicular units conduct an orderly disengagement from the enemy. Units may withdraw as part of a platoon's activation or in reaction. They do not expend maneuver points to withdraw, but instead can withdraw removing any regrouping markers, 1 to 4 hexes. Also, some or all units in a hex may withdraw individually or as a stack. They cannot enter an enemy-occupied hex or primary impact hex. Okay, so they can't go straight back there. May exit any primary or secondary, blah, cannot withdraw. Cannot withdraw from an assault hex. 10.5.3. Wow. It sort of gets a little bit there and over, doesn't it? 10.5.3, which puts us back to faint. Okay, so I don't think that he can do anything. So, yeah, I did a lot of reading and got nowhere. So, no, I don't believe he can do anything because there's infantry assaulting him. Righto. So that leaves these guys who can then attempt to react to this movement or this movement. Bum, bum, bum. So what I'm going to do with these guys here is I'm going to withdraw Johnson and second squad, and they are going to maneuver. So they can move 2 movement points or 1 hex. Now, if I bring them down 1, 2, then they've got a chance to get into here, and that's what we're going to do. So they're going to go 1, 2 to here. They're maneuvering back towards the church. The machine gun, 1, 2, 3. I think now these are within 2 of him now, so he's going to lose his concealment. These guys will, they've moved, but we'll have to look at regaining concealment, I suppose. No, they were concealed. No, they weren't. They lost concealment as soon as they got there because they're within 2. So they're not concealed at the moment. He is going to conduct fire. And he's going to conduct fire at, if he conducts fire there, he's going to be firing for 1, because this bloke's in the open. If he conducts fire here, he's going to be conducting at 1, 2, -2, which is 0 into here because he's in a building. Or do I simply pull him back with these guys? I'm going to fire into here. So he is 1. He gets another 1 for proximity, is 2, -2 for the wooden building. Like that. So it's a 0 firepower into here. the reason for that is I want to try and do something to him if this bloke ends up surviving and moving out. So that's that. This guy here can't do anything. He can't see anybody. So we're over reaction. And we are now into the activation over here. So this guy first is going to try and get rid of his disruption. So he needs a 5 or less. Gets a 7, fails again. This guy's pulled back. He's shooting. He's going to simply move. He's going to maneuver then. And go 1, 2, 3. Simply to come up this way, hopefully get around in here, and then he can, if he can get with Rolf, that'll help him to also do something. So he's done. We now have this little fella here. And again, he can move 2 hexes or 3 movement points. And he can also fire. If he fires from here into here, it's a range of 1, 2, 3, which is a 0, but it'd be a -2 because this bloke's in a building. So that'd be a -2. If he fires here, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a -1 because these guys are out in the open. Sorry, this would be a 1, 2, 3. So he'd be firing for 1. -2 is -1. Whereas here, this would be a -1 for range. A 1 for firepower would be a 0. So that's what he is going to do. He's going to shoot there into here for a 0. Like that, which leaves these guys here that are going to try and assault into here. So I want another assault. They could just try shooting into there, but I think we'll go for assault. So I'll just clip this assault marker. And they are assaulting, so they get to move 1 to there, and then they will move into there during the assault phase. So Germans are done. Reaction. This bloke is going to shoot back or withdraw because they haven't got to him yet. If he shoots back, he'll be firing for 1, for 2. And I think that's probably his best bet to try and knock them down a little bit because he has a 3 for his melee value or close combat value. I can't remember what they call it in this game again. It amounts to the same thing, but assault value. So there you go. So he's going to shoot into here. He gets 1 for his firepower and he gets 1 for the proximity, so he's shooting into there, and we are done. So let's get to it. So first things first, we have activated, we have reacted, and now we have fire resolution. Okie dokie. So the first fire resolution is Americans against here, so we'll get rid of that. We don't need that because he was just maneuvering. We don't need that because he was just maneuvering. 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 Okay. So we have this guy here. Being attacked by the machine gun. And we roll a 10. Okay, which is greater than he. Did I screw that before? I think I actually did screw that before. No, I didn't. Okay, so we've got a 10 there. So he needs to roll to see if he survives it. Okay, so he needs a 6 or less. And he fails. And this guy here has been disrupted. Ripper, reader. Okay, so that helps. Okay, the next fire action is over here. From third of third. And it's a German roll, rolling for a 0. We get a 3, nothing happens. But again, was worth a go. And then we have the fire action here against this assaulting mob, and that's a +2. 8 and 2 is 10, and we have these guys who need to take there. Now we can remove it, lower it by, no, we can't lower it by 1 because of him, because he's the same cohesion as him. So we have this guy first, needs a 6 or less, gets it, and Rolfie boy, Lieutenant Rolf, passes as well. So the fire action is over, and the assault will go in. Okay, so now we get to do assaults, which we haven't got to do before. So we have, let's do it by the book so we get it right. Assaults, resolution 23. Okay. This is the first assault. So we have him against these guys. German assault. And he's in a wooden building. The assault is resolved immediately, and the assault resolution ends under any of the following. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, each player determines the total assault value of the force by totaling the assault values of the units participating. So the Germans have 1, 2, 3, 4 against 2. Each player refers to the assault value modifier table. Assault value modifiers. Okay, so we have 4 to 2. So first thing is we have the cohesion differential. And our cohesion differential is 7 to 6, which is +1 for the Germans. Defender in a rural stone or wooden building hex. And he is in a building hex, so it's now +1, 0. And that's it. Righto, so we've got a 0 modifier at the moment, I believe. The final assault DRM is determined by subtracting the defender's net assault value from the assaulting force's net assault value. Okay, so he is a 4 + 1 is 5. And he is a 2 + 1 is 3. So that's a +2, I believe. Okay, so he is 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's got the cohesion, which makes 5. And he is 2 plus 1 is 3, so that's a 2 differential. So therefore, we have a +2 to the assault. Now, I think assault uses the different color one, but I'm just going to use this. So we have a +2. Okay, here we go. 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay. 6 to 9. If urban assault, no, it's not. Both players conduct, no. Attacking a defender, no. Okay, number 4. Defender retreats. Okay, so defender retreats. And that's... Okay, retreat from there, I think, is 2 to 4. 24. Page 24. Okay, retreats occur as a result of an assault. Players retreat their own units. Defender retreats. Units do not retreat if all enemy units in the assault were eliminated. Yep. Retreats do not trigger reactions. Retreating units are eliminated if forced to retreat into or across prohibited hexes or hex sites. No. Retreats into or through a river, marsh, jungle, urban building, sunken road, blah, 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 is limited to 3 hexes. Okay, in general, for non-vehicular units, retreating units must retreat towards their FBC. Retreating non-vehicular units have one of 2 options, depending on the orientation of the hexes. They must retreat according to retreat priorities, even if it means retreating into a hex containing a minefield or wire. Is subject to the following priority. When the hex sides are parallel, and not adjacent to an enemy combat unit. A hex towards, okay, so he needs to come back this way, and he needs to go a hex towards there and not adjacent. Or next is a hex toward there adjacent to an enemy unit. Retreating adjacent to an enemy. If at any time during its retreat an undisrupted non-vehicular unit enters a hex adjacent to an undisrupted or non-shocked enemy unit, the undisrupted unit must conduct a cohesion check at the end of its retreat. But he is disrupted, so it doesn't matter. Whoops, sorry, just knocking stuff around. So I believe he can go up to 4 hexes. So he could go 1, 2, 3, 4 back to there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he has to do a disruption check. A cohesion check. And he passes. So both or all of these units now the salt is gone. Are now marked as regroup. Okay, so let's put our regroups on them. So we've got a regroup on him. And we've got a regroup on them, like that. Righto. So I think that is correct. And that gives us another building there. So we've got our 5 buildings at the moment. We need the church and the game is over. Righto. So next is this assault. Okay, cohesion to cohesion is zip. There is no change because it's 6 to 6. We have 3. A value of 3 for our assault. They have a value of 3 for their assault. They're in woods, which don't make any difference either. No. So it's a straight up 0. Okay. We need biggest numbers. 5. 2 to 5. Attacker retreats. Okay, so this goes away. This can go away. Attacker retreats. So you can go 2 to 4 hexes, I believe. Righto, so we'll go back 2, like that. Retreating non-vehicular units conduct a cohesion check. So for Rolf, oh, he fails. And for second squad, well, I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to take, well, let's roll it again. If passes. It just got caught into the bottom here, and it could have been a 1 or a 7. Check for leader loss. Okay. Leader loss. Leader loss. Leader loss. Leader, see platoon leader. Leader loss check. 1435. Okay, each platoon leader must conduct a leader or FT loss check. Oh, so we had to do a leader loss check up here as well. Sorry. And suffers a casualty on a die roll of 1 or 10. Okay. So for Lang to start with, a 3, he's fine. And for Rolf, a 7, he's fine. Okay, so he has been disrupted. That's fine. And then anybody who has not been disrupted, I believe, mark undisrupted attacking defending non-vehicular units as regrouping. Correct. Okay. So that was a little bit nasty. So this little fella here is regrouping. And second squad here is regrouping. And that is it, I believe. Let's just put that there. Righto. That regroup needs to go on there. So we've done the assault. There's no mortar. Time lapse. Time lapse for the Germans is 10 is 5 more, and we go up to time 18. Yuck. Which I think is a third of their time now, isn't it? 18 times 3. No, it's more than a third. 16 would be more than a third. Yep. Okay. Which brings us to the cleanup phase. Nobody's recombining. Conceal any units not in line of sight of an enemy unit. Okay. In line of sight of this guy and this guy. In line of sight of this guy. In line of sight of this guy. In line of sight, in line of sight, in line of sight. This guy's in line of sight, in line of sight, in line of sight, and in line of sight. So nobody's going to get that at all. And I believe that's it. It went a little bit long. I apologise for that. But I wanted to try and get it right. I hope I did. So at the end of that, we are at time 18 of 46. We have first squad of third platoon and the third platoon leader who have been disrupted. We have second squad of second platoon that has been disrupted. And the Americans are still looking pretty good. They haven't been disrupted or anything else. They've lost ground. The Germans now hold 5 wooden buildings. They just need the church. We were hoping to take this guy out, force him back, and then we could have hopefully gone at least up towards here as well, but no. So these two are sitting up against this wall at the moment. Okay, I think that's about it. Again, I'll put it up, and again, if I've made mistakes, then I've made mistakes, but I've tried to do it by the book. Doesn't mean I got it right, but I've tried to do it by the book. So take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye from now.